Hey guys and gals, let me give this a shot here. We have Kingsley Shacklebolt and Nymphadora something, Tonks, I think, by LEGO BrickHeadz. This is set number 40618, contains 250 bricks, retails for $19.99, and this set was provided by the LEGO Group for early review. And these don't look too bad. Here's the back of the box. Well, it's already been opened because we're ready to build it. And this is essentially the pieces we have. We got bag 1 here, and we have bag 2 on the right. So this is obviously going to be a collaborative build, so you and a partner can build together. Isn't that cool? We'll set that there. And we're going to slide these off to the side because now we are going to focus on the first bag. So, and let's get going here. Now, I'm really excited because this is the last set I have to review for probably about 2 weeks. Now, by the time I release all these, you won't even notice, but we'll see what happens. Because I did accept another offer, so only time is going to tell here. And I'm going to try to get as many of these done as I can. The next sets I'm getting, I've pretty much got almost the same piece counts that I've been working on. So I'm trying to think of faster ways of doing reviews. It's not filming is the problem. It's editing. So I'm trying to think of another strategy to do editing on the videos. It's not like doing a tutorial where I bring out a tutorial and that's just it. Reviews, it's like you just get them in bulk. You got to figure out ways. So I'm trying to find strategies to be a little more, efficient doing them. So we'll see if we can figure that out. And yeah, the last one I did, there was a big nasty party going on a few doors down. You probably heard the music, but now it's late at night and early in the morning. I'm doing this before bed, so I'm hoping to get this done here. I know one of these has sounded kind of down and out because I was really tired, but I think that was the same day I went to the dentist and stuff, and the dentist could tire you out real quick. You know, it's just a tooth cleaning. It's just stressful going to those places, They treat you good. It's just, who likes going to the dentist? But I don't have to worry about that for 6 months, so that's that. Alrighty. So I don't have any new projects that I'm working on right now. Most of everything that I want to do is tutorial based. As a matter of fact, after I get done with this and go to bed, I'm going to be doing some editing on some tutorials tomorrow. Well, later on in the day. Or not editing, editing reviews, but I'm also going to start finishing up a couple of the tutorials that I've been working on. Get those done for you. I only got 2 tutorials I got to get done to complete the summer fun stuff, but I may end up changing some of the videos and doing something more like, let me swing this over here. Something more, more related to the summer stuff. I always have a lot of ideas, but sometimes I'll have an idea that'll pop in my head that I want to share, and it's like, this is a really good build, and I don't want to just sit on it, But I also got other chores and stuff I have to do too. And I think I mentioned this in the other BrickHeadz sets, that these are a good source of snot bricks, preferably these. So you need to scarf up a few of these. These are the sets that you need to hit up. I kid you not. I know some people frown upon them. I was one of those at one time until I got the samples to review, and Yeah, I'm kind of on the lookout for these, and if I see them on sale, well, that fell apart. I'll slurp them up. And I'm starting to degrade my building experience now. May want to put that on there first. So I'm just want to get these done out of the way because I want to enjoy my summer too and not doing reviews. Got a couple ideas for mocks, and it's just getting the time to do the mocks is the issue. To do the mocks and set reviews, it's a bit of a tight schedule. So it's not like something I can just get done in a matter of minutes here. You know, it's some of these projects I really want to get into, and now with all the abundance of parts that I've been obtaining, it's easy to do that. You know. Alrighty. And just some 2x4 or 1x4 plates. Yeah, we were all kind of hanging out on Discord tonight, just chatting about new projects and stuff, and kind of got some inspiration to build some new stuff. It's just, these are in my way right now, but it's not going to stop me from sketching out new ideas. It's just I want to build them, and right now I have no space because all the sets have taken up all my free space right now. Now, when I'm done with all these, I'll do the review and I'm satisfied with them, and once I release them, they go into my other room and they just get packed in totes with the set number on them. And if I need a part out of one of these, you know, that's what will happen. And then I'll part them out for, you know, other mocks and creations and stuff. And there's some that I've talked to that are scared to do that. You know, if you like a set, yeah, by all means keep it together. But if you're like me and you got so much of this stuff, do you really want to keep all this around? And my friend said it still looks like a toy store. She says, it's getting worse. I'm like, yeah, I'll have to probably cut down or do something. That's what we're going to have to do. But I am glad to hear that a lot of you guys like the campground tutorials, and I've been getting a few comments saying you want to see more styles of builds like that, because everybody and their grandmother now does Lego cities, and I don't want to just do a city and say, oh, here's an update to that. So I'm trying to think of something else to build other than the traditional standbys that most people do. And I think, to me, I think I found my niche, because I like building that stuff, you know. I just need to, well, obtain more parts to do so. Sets like this offer very little, though, unfortunately, because I'm looking for foliage pieces and, you know, basic bricks like in greens, grays, and browns like medium nougat, sand yellow, brick yellow maybe, it depends on what I'm building, and that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been kind of looking for. A lot of these sets today, they don't have a lot of stuff. Like these pieces here are good for making cars and smaller things like furniture and stuff. But actually using the parts for a house or something, it could be a bit challenging, you know. I mean, some of these parts would be great for that, but okay, I'm glad I didn't press that down all the way. This one here's got a lot of medium to small parts. For it only being 250 bricks, it seems like a lot. Well, Jay, you know, why do you accept these sets if they're not really your boat? Well, because they're cool looking. And two, it's introduced some of you guys and gals to sets like this if you're looking for parts. You know, I don't just run out and buy any kind of part, just like buying sets, you know. And this is kind of like an illustration to where I get my parts from, you know. Especially if you're into prototyping, you don't want to spend a lot of money getting a part only to find out it's not really going to be suitable for your build. Sometimes you'll get a set that has some good pieces in it, and you've got to think, okay, what do I want to do here? I want to make this cool mock, but I don't have these pieces, but I have these. What will it look like? Sometimes it works, you know. I built some stuff and I'm like, okay, I like the parts, I just got to find the right colors. So I got a project that I'm working on now. It's another furniture tutorial. I have the parts, not in the right colors. So and it's all about piecing it together slowly. Yeah, I gotta get off my rear and replace some bushings and some pins in my truck doors. They're starting to sag, and I've been kind of thinking how I want to tackle that. You know, I just need to take the door off to do it, and some of these mechanics want to charge a fortune for it, and then they're going to cut the wires to all the electronics to take the door off. And seeing I'm already tearing apart my passenger door to the point that I got all the door panel off and all that stuff, I actually have access to the wire harness, and I thought, well, I could just simply just unplug that harness all the way and just push it through the little boot that goes through the door to guide the wires inside. I thought I could just literally just unplug everything and just slide the door out of the way. You know, go in there and just degrease everything and reinsert the new bushings in and just do a complete restore job on it, which I'm going to do. Let me go get that, because that's a part I know I don't have in that color. But I'm learning as I go. As I have a wonderful family that says I can't do it. Well, I feel confident that I can. So I've been reading up on a lot of diaries on other guys who've done it, and the tricks and stuff and the type of supplies you'll need, and you know, I kind of feel confident, you know, to do it on my own. I mean, I tore about every other part off this truck, so I'm going to do that too. This time taking the doors off and just doing a complete rebuild. The passenger side door, I had it gutted and kind of repieced it back together, but I figure what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the door all the way off and just start diving into it. I do have a dolly I could use just to put it underneath the door, and when I disconnect everything and pull the pins out, have a buddy of mine help me. We'll just slide the door out of the way and then let the fun begin and hope I don't mess up. There's just one spring that I have to get out. I don't have a spring compression tool, so I'll have to go probably pick one up, take the spring out the door where it keeps, you know, so the door doesn't fling into the body. And I think I can do it. Some people say those doors are heavy, some say they're light. I think the only thing that would be heavy in that door would be the glass inside. So what I'll have to do is roll the window all the way down to make it not so top heavy, and then just have a buddy of mine will just kind of leave it on a dolly and just kind of roll it somewhere, and then lean it up against the wall or something, put a towel over it, and just enough to expose the hinges so I can take all the old gunky grease off, and then fix the broken bushings, and may have to use a little bit of epoxy to fill in the void, stick the new bushings in, and on the way I go. But in order to do that, I have to read up on it and stuff. So I'm missing a piece, and I think when I hit all these parts, it probably flew back here. I got these. So I have to go dig one up. Hold on. Okay, I looked everywhere and I could not find that piece. So I think maybe I have a winner here and I forgot to pack one. And I looked everywhere. And that's as close as I have. You know, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes LEGO will send me these sets and I have no way to get a replacement part, because that right there is a unique color. And that's all, folks. I checked everywhere. I can check again, but I remember when I hit those parts, but I looked behind everything and I don't even see that color at all around here. So maybe they forgot to pack it in here, or did I read it wrong? No? Oh, maybe I did. Okay, I did read it wrong. But that's one of the crucial things about these type of sets. I think we did one like that on the other side, but I can't remember. I thought maybe we're missing one. So sometimes that happens. I just wanted to be sure. I just got to fix it to where these parts don't fly off the table. But anyways, though, just taking apart the stuff on that's going to be kind of scary, but I'm going to learn how to do it. Never too old to learn new stuff. So I'm not an automotive person by any means, but I'll just learn how to take it apart and slide the door off to the side, and then I'll be on my way. So we have a little wand here. Should have put the wand on before we put the hand in there. And there we go. We have an extra one of these wands. What I always like to do is just break that off and put it in my spare parts bin when I'm done. And then the leftovers I toss. Unfortunately, I can't recycle it. Too bad you can't send those leftover pieces back to LEGO and say, here, recycle these. Sure, if they had a program they could, but it'd probably be very wasteful in terms of shipping supplies and stuff. And that's it. We're done with her. Or I think it's a her, I don't know. And like I said, I wish they had an actual normal face to go with these. But that's it. And that is what we have remaining for bag one. Okay, let's begin with bag two. And this one here is kind of miserable in terms of the manual. So probably didn't like him or something, so he just wrinkled his manual up and shoved it in the box. So I may start dinging for how sloppy these are packed too, but I don't know if it happens in transit or what. But anyways, Oh, is it purple or is it the light? All I got is purple here, and because it shows it the same color. And I doubt I even have those. Let's make sure here. So they want a dark gray here. Heck, it seems like I'm missing a bag here. Here's the dark gray. Oh, wait a minute, how silly of me. This is purple. Boy, I need to go to bed, don't I? But I'm excited to get this out of here. I'm going to review it tonight, and then that is it. That means all I have to do is edit videos, and that is it, and start coming up with new ideas. As I still got that boat building guide and some other stuff I got to get done. I don't want to be stuck doing review after review after review, because after a while these do get kind of boring to do, because I'm basically just copying a picture. Why, there's a bunch of ideas in my mind that I can't explore. Like, oh cool, these are nice parts. Well, I got to use them on this first before I can use them for anything else. No, you're gonna need 4 of these, so put 2 on the back. And yeah, I'll make 2 of these now. Yeah, this book is so miserable. Oh, a sand blue. I haven't seen that color in a long time. I'm going to tell you right now, as warped as this manual is, I should ding off points for how it's packed. I may do that. I mean, it sounds like I'm getting pretty brutal, and I am, but, you know, when I have to literally fight the manual because it's so wrinkled up. I think back in the old days I was dinging off points when I did the reviews, but kind of just like, I don't know, but I may have to start doing that. Now, I'm going to put the 2x4 on first before the 1x4. If I can't find it, what am I going to do? Oh, wait a minute, it's a 2x2. I thought it's or a 1x2. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just going to build here. Like, I'm all ready to go to bed, you know, and I thought, well, I'm going to nail this booger out first. And just get it out of the way and just be like, okay, I can do something fun with the parts when I'm done. And like after I get done with this, I may just save the photography tomorrow. I could just do it tonight all in one sitting. And now I see why a lot of guys, they'll put the piano music in here and not talk. I could sit here and build and not say a word to you and just play the piano music for you. Like, hey, I'm going to play piano music because I'm just too lazy to talk right now. I'll stumble over my words, but then it just feels like I'm kind of cheating you out of the whole build experience. What's on my mind, you know? Okay. And then his arms go on the sides. Okay. Yeah, but these builds, though, they're like, this just to me feels average. I'm just not into the build. But I normally try not to grade on that because everybody's opinions and build experiences will be different. Obviously, this is not a set we can play with. I mean, you probably could. But for me, I just don't see it has a lot of play value in there, and that's printed. But if you want to learn some new snot building techniques, BrickHeadz are your go-tos. we got the sand blue here. But my intentions are to get these done quickly so I can start on the new stuff. And when I get my next batch of sets in, I don't want to have to be overwhelmed with editing. So I got to get on the editing. I actually have two computers doing that. I have one that I'll edit and one that sends the files up. And sometimes if I need to, I'll just edit on both. But right now I'm kind of editing the reviews and unboxings on one computer and the builds are on another machine. And it lightens up the load on getting things done. It means I can work on two projects at one time, or I can sit and listen to one while I'm editing it and process another one while I'm doing graphics for a thumbnail or something. So you have to do a lot of multitasking. And that's why some don't even get into YouTube at all. It's a lot of work. And it is, you know, especially if you don't want to do it. Because I don't like doing thumbnails, but you have to. That's the first thing you see. The old heydays of YouTube, they didn't have them. And then they gave thumbnails to partners. I remember those days when I got partnered and I had those privileges, which was cool. Now it doesn't really mean much anymore. Now you can just use a thumbnail whenever you want. But sometimes I wish I can just take the scrubber on YouTube and just kind of pick a thumbnail at random. You know, like go back and forth in the video and then find it. And then I'll have to take the camera and take a finalized version. But I like more action shots than anything else. Tonight I had fish, like cod, and then for a little snack I had popcorn. Very rarely I ever have popcorn anymore. I do need to get a few more of these in brown. Alrighty. At least one thing I like about these BrickHeadz, though, they don't have a whole lot of stickers on them. So you don't have to fight the stickers or anything like that. You can just start building and having fun. And I was talking about this in the brick exploration. I'd like to get a few of these right here. Looks like you'd use these for the back of a seat or something like that. They're really fancy. So I need to get a couple of those. I'm sorry, dude, but I need those parts. So I'm going to have to rip those off your head when I'm done. I think these must be ears because I've been seeing these a lot on the other ones. I'm about 70% done with this manual, which is cool. Could have just gave us a couple of 2x3s. Why don't they do that? Because they try to narrow down part lots. I do that in my own builds too. So when I'm writing up the building guides, it's only faster, but it's also easy for you, the builder. You don't have to go in and hunt for this type of parts. That goes right in the center. All right. Yeah, I've been more reading up more on that ham license, that amateur radio license stuff, and yeah, I think I may shoot for it. I just got to do some studying. I just got to find some free time. A lot of that stuff I know. I took a few exams and passed a few of them and barely passed and failed some, so that tells me I need to study a bit. Like, I'm just going to shoot for the whole extras and see if I can get the whole caboodle. Should have just mirrored it on both sides to speed this up, but you know, these are already fast as it is. I noticed I got a few extra plates, so I think maybe there's supposed to be more here because this is sitting too low. So let me add another one on both of these here. Okay, not too bad. Now he just needs a stand to be perched on. Let me give him a wand first. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it. And yeah, so this is a Harry Potter set. I only know Harry Potter and just maybe some of the main characters. I've never sat down and really watched it, so I don't know. And just so happens I had to drop the wand on the floor. And I got this dark carpet here that I can't see anything. I'll have to look for it later. I don't want to waste too much time. So this is essentially what you build here, and that's it. So both these look pretty good. Just they fall off the base real easily. I'm sure they're meant to be moved and play around and stuff, so you can do that. And let's take a look at him. That's essentially what it is. So we're going to dive right on into build experience. It's average. You know, I wasn't feeling anything special with this set. It wasn't anything to do with the colors. It's just I'm not really into BrickHeadz. Okay, I just couldn't fill these models this time. Build quality, it's okay. It's average, you know. Some of these pieces did fall apart when we were building her, and these just fall off, so you got to be careful with them. So that's essentially what those are, and the wands are just sticking in the hands, but at least they're fixed, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. City drop-in values, it's not really existing unless you put like a flower bed around and make them as statues. I don't know. And mock value is a little different because you can actually build scenes around these. You can use these for parts. So there's a lot of things you can do with the mocks. As far as for play value, you know, there's not a whole lot. I'm trying to think of anything else. Play value, that, build experience, build quality. Okay. Now comes to the fact that these are a collaborative build. So if you and a partner are interested in these type of BrickHeadz, there you go. One can build a model and another one can build the other one simultaneously. So make a good little conversation starter and just to have fun maybe for an afternoon, maybe for probably about 20-30 minutes at the most, and you're done. That's pretty much essentially what it is. And my final score in these is probably a 9 to 9.5. I wish a brick separator was included. And these stands, these figures were attached better to the stands. Other than that, there's really nothing wrong. They're printed. For the most part, the instructions were easy to follow. So the question is now, are these BrickHeadz worth $19.99? And I think they are. I mean, there's a lot of good pieces in here, and seeing that I don't have any of these colors and those plates with bow, whoa, and these printed pieces too always come in handy for other mocks. So I'd say yes, for 250 pieces for $19.99, that's less than 10 cents a piece. That's pretty average. So I'm not disappointed with the set. It just wasn't my style, but I think a 9 to 9.5 is fine. But tell me what you think of the set. Let me know in the comments below.